So you're a total noob and want to get better at Counter-Strike? Well, I've got 5 tips for you that could help you pwn noobs like a global. Number 1. Aim for the head. Hang on, aim for the head? That's your advice? I know it sounds like I'm teaching you to suck eggs, but it's insane how many people don't even bother to aim at head level. Even if you prefer spray control to tap or burst firing, aiming for the head means you're never at a disadvantage when engaging in a duel. If you aim at head level, it's much easier to adjust your aim for spraying, particularly if you're already used to the spray patterns, than it is to snap onto a player's head if you're staring at their chest. In CSGO, the bullets appear to come out of your gun, but in reality, they come out of your face. This makes crosshair placement a lot simpler. All you have to do is look straight in front of you. If your line of sight is parallel to the floor, you're aiming at head level. Obviously, if there's a slope or a crouching player, you'll have to adjust. But if you get into the habit of aiming your crosshair parallel to the floor, you should have people talking about your one-taps in no time. Number 2. Only throw a flash or smoke if you know where it'll land. We've all ballsed up a flashbang and blinded our own team at some point. I myself am a major offender of failing my flashbang throws. But what's worse than messing up a flashbang is guessing where one is going to go. Of course, you can improvise flashbangs if there's no teammates nearby to blind if it goes wrong, or if it's fairly obvious that it won't blind you or your team. Learning nades is made even harder by the fact that some throws are different on 128-tick and 64-tick servers. Switching between the two can make remembering which nades are for which tick rate incredibly confusing. If you're only playing matchmaking, then learning 64-tick nades is all you need. If you're playing a third-party client that uses 128-tick servers, but you also play matchmaking sometimes, then just learn the 128-tick nades. Most will be the same on matchmaking servers apart from a couple of smokes. Number 3. Teamwork is called work for a reason. Many of you are European. We all live fairly close to each other, yet nearly every country in Europe has one or more unique native languages. When you join a match with people you've never played with before, you'll be lucky if more than 1 or 2 of you end up speaking your native tongue. But communication is a key part of teamwork, and you need teamwork to win. If you can communicate with your team, then it is always worth the effort to do so, but sometimes you just can't understand what your team is saying. If you don't share a common language, remember that you can use preset responses and commands in-game to at least partially overcome the language barrier. If you're playing with people you've never played with before, you only have a few seconds to communicate with them before each round. Tell them what you plan to do this round, and keep it concise. If your teammates object, you should probably listen to them. You don't want to hinder a teammate by being inflexible. Try to organise your call-outs so as you're not talking over anybody. Never say more than you need to, but always say everything your team need to hear. Number 4. Learn the maps. Being a versatile player is important. It's fun to play lots of different maps, but sometimes it's beneficial to focus on 1 or 2 maps and make sure you know all the call-outs, all the nades, and all the common angles. Good map knowledge can give you the confidence to carry a team. Plus, map knowledge gives you a better read on what your opponent might be doing. If you're not sure where your opponent is, think about what you would do in their situation. You'd be surprised how frequently you're correct. Number 5. Be positive! Being a positive person is a positive influence. No matter how badly things are going, if you remain confident you can win, you not only improve your own playing, but the playing of those on your team as well. Often, when a team is in the lead, they get cocky and make mistakes. You can exploit them. Any rounds you win are rounds where you manage to outplay your opponent. As long as you've got rounds, you've got potential to win. If you can convince your team that you can win, you will dramatically improve your chances of winning. So be a positive influence on your team. It requires no effort on your part and the results will speak for themselves.